Okay, yes, welcome. My name is Okoji Christopher, the CEO of Obilu Farms. This video is an instructional material intended to instruct upcoming farmers and existing farmers, especially poultry farmers, on necessary steps to take in order to fully embrace organic poultry. Our intention is to make sure that we give you proper step-by-step strategy or proper step-by-step instruction on how to source your bird from the farm, from the parent farm, and how to brew them in your own brooder, and then follow them up with organic medication. We have a chart already spelled out for that. The proper medication to take per day, and everything you need to do when you don't need to give them medication, when they need to be, that means when they need to be on plain water and feed, when they need to be on fermented feed, or when they need to be on dried feed, and also when they need to take every necessary step. So this video instruction is going to be a daily instructional guide of your farm activity in a typical organic farm setting. So we are using my backyard brooder as our experimental field for the sake of this video instruction. But however, the series is still continuing. It's going to be a weekly release. It's going to be a weekly compilation of the number of days, just a 7 days compilation each series. That's stress actually when the distance of a parent farm, which is a hatchery, is too far from the final destination. Your chicken tend to experience stress. That's the DOC tend to experience stress, and that's exactly was one of the stuff that happened during the time we wanted to start this particular video project. The experimental chicken we ordered for 100 just for the sake of this video series, and unfortunately the driver decided to delay so much. Well, his excuse was that the weather is too hot, that he cannot drive a long distance under the hot sun, so he delayed so much that the chicken that were released for him at the factory at about 11 a.m. in the morning finally got to our hands at about 12 midnight. So because of that, we lost a couple of chicken to stress. Those are the major mortality we've experienced so far. The instructions. The day you're expecting your birds, it's not, in most cases, it's not the day you start rushing to prepare for them. You need to prepare for them a couple of days before then. However, some farmers take about 1 or 2 weeks to prepare for them, but I don't do that. Well, maybe because of how well I've understood the situation now, or because I'm practicing organic farm. I actually start preparing for the arrival of my chicken on the very day. I can start a day before the day, or the very day I'm expecting them to come, because I have a particular fumigating chemical that I use for them that is not harmful to the birds. So I can even spray it on the chicken as they come, so it doesn't harm them. So you will see it on the video. I think I use Vioxx. That was introduced to me by my very good friend, Mr. Wale Ojo, Pastor Wale Ojo, quote unquote, Pastor Wale Ojo. Yeah. So now, when you are expecting your birds, clear your brooder. Like the brooder we're using right now was previously occupied by other bigger chicken and turkey. So on the day of arrival, I removed both the turkeys and chicken, the broiler chicken, the big ones that have been there for a couple of while. I removed them and then relocated them to another cage. Now the next thing that needs to be done is to make sure that, since my brooder is a suspended cage, yes, it's a suspended brooder, it's done on purpose. If you've watched our previous video, quote unquote, how to control disease in your farm, you know why my brooder is suspended. So it's actually suspended because it helps us to control disease better. It helps us to separate their poop from them, so they don't easily have easy communication with their poop. So because of that, they don't easily contact disease, and that helps us in our probiotics activities so well. So now we've removed the old chicken that has been there. Now the next thing is to to dust up everywhere, clear off the base. We used to have some sawdust that we put at the base, that is the bottom, that is below the suspension. If you look at, so watching the video now, you will see that you will have below the down floor, just like an upstairs. So the down floor, we used to put some sawdust, some, not actually sawdust, but wood shavings, because sawdust is different from wood shaving. So we used to push wood shavings for the sake of the old birds that we have at our backyard. So they used to communicate between the downside of the brooder and the outside part of the backyard where they walk around and play around. So we have to clean them all and then replace the wood shavings, because now that we are expecting the new set of DOC, we are still expecting them to poop, and it goes through the suspension. And what we just simply do now is clear everywhere, and then your drinkers, since they've been used for a while, and maybe some of them have not been used for a long while, whatever, so there are some bacteria that could be existing inside those containers, your drinkers, your feeder. So what you do is you soak them with your normal detergent in a container. So after soaking them for a while, you wash them thoroughly and then use your disinfectant. In this case, we use Vioxx to disinfect those containers, like your feeders and your drinkers. So you disinfect them and then get them ready for the farm. And then the next thing that I do is I go to my neighbors that sell food stuff, not just cooked food stuff, or other groceries. So what we need from them is the carton, the used carton. So we'll get used carton from them and then open and dust up those used cartons and then spread it on the base, not the below base, but the suspension base where the chicken are going to be. We spread it properly and now sprinkle or spray the disinfectants that we have on those cartons. Spray it on the whole wall, everywhere around. So that will help to kill off any form of pathogen, germs, disease-causing bacteria, viruses and everything that is weak that have been lurking around everywhere. It will kill them all and just sterilize the whole place before the DOC arrive. So with this, you will be so sure that your birds are safe, are coming into a secured environment. So as soon as the DOC arrived, make sure that you have already filled your water into the drinkers. Now, on this instructional video, you're going to see it will be showing on the screen right now how you treat your water with organic medication. So the organic medication for the first day is LABS, which is lactobacillus serum, targary extract. Targary is what is called in Yoruba, but in English is bitter melon extract, and then ginger and garlic extract, all served in 30 ml each. 30 ml each to a 3 liters or 4 liters, as the case may be, water drinker. You serve it there, right? Like in this case, we are using 3 water drinkers for all 100 birds, so they can all have access to water at the same time, as though as they have access to feed at the same time. So we do that, and then we make sure that we scatter feed around the entire carton, which is now acting as a carpet and the floor. This is done because the new birds don't really recognize their feeder so well, as they are still young and gullible. They don't know anything, so you need to train them, but they don't have to go hungry for that moment. So because of that, we spray food on the carton. That is the essence of putting the carton there for the first 5 days or thereabouts. So they eat everywhere, both on the carton and from their feeder. So after the first 4 days or thereabouts, they will get used to where the feed is coming from, or where the feed is most available. So from then henceforth, we can now remove the carton from the suspended floor. Now they can now be moving on the suspended floor, though they will still have to learn it for a while and then get used to it. So
at this stage, we still need to show them where to drink water. That is why all the birds that are being removed from the cartons are being dropped with their mouths directed to the drinkers or to the water part of the drinker, so they easily just quickly gain access to the water, drink, and get resuscitated. The temperature management at this stage is very essential. Here you have a charcoal source of heat as well as the electric bulb fixed in the brooder to provide heat for them. Now the charcoal pot have been preheated and now brought into the farm or into the brooder pen. As you can see, before we brought in the charcoal heating pot, we have all the birds clinging together in one part of the brooder. That means they are catching cold and they are not feeling so well. So with the introduction of the charcoal pot, we have helped to increase the temperature of the brooder environment. In a short while, this clinging effect in their midst as a result of the coldness that they are experiencing for the first water they drank will disperse, since we have increased the brooder temperature Day 2.
It was such a bright and beautiful morning the following day, and the chicks are busy enjoying their wine of medications. They're eating and they're moving around all well, and their feather has started shooting out quickly. It should also be worthy of note here that the organic medications we are using today is Talgary extract, which is bitter melon extract, garlic and ginger extract, as well as labs, which is lactobacillus serum. Day 3. Today, our medication schedule is still as the same as day 1 and day 2, which is labs, Talgary extract, and garlic and ginger. Please know that we have been on dry feed since day 1, and this is still going to continue for a couple of days till day 14. This is because it's easier and better and quicker for them to learn to pick dry feed than eating wet feed. So by day 14, we are going to start teaching them how to take fermented feed. Day 4. Plain water day. Today we are serving the chicks plain water to drink. This to enable us flush their system, as they've been on organic medication since day 1, and now it's day 4. We are giving them plain water to drink, so that's it. They are enjoying it. They are truly enjoying it. Yes, you can see them dipping their beaks and raising it up. Their agility is very high now. Day 5. Today's medication is cayenne pepper or habanero pepper day. So what we are treating them to now is habanero pepper. We have done a previous video on how to blend habanero pepper. Habanero pepper is called atarodo in Yoruba language, or fresh pepper, the one you use in making stew. Just blend it alone with molasses. Think a teacup full of molasses with 100 naira worth of atarodo or habanero pepper. It's enough to take care of this. We serve with 30 ml, which is the cover of the 1 liter container, to 3 liters of water. Yeah, we serve it to the chicken. So that takes care of their medication for day 5. Day 6. Fresh plain water has just been supplied to them. No medication at all. That means day 6 is also another system flushing day 2 for them. Please note that for the first 10 days, of their life, there is need for constant checkup on them. At this stage, every 2 to 3 hours. We check up on them to see how they are doing, even at night. This time of the day is late at night. You can see that the plain water that was served in the morning is a kind of dirty now. But however, we still allow them to drink it till daybreak.
The only maintenance we do on that is just to pour the part of the water that is dirty away, and then they still continue. Day 7, the final day of week 1. They are so excited now. They are exercising their growing feathers, and they are living happily around. Some watching bigger chicken from the window outside.
But we have a little surprise for them today. We are bringing a twist to their home arrangement today. Their carpet is going to be removed today. They shall lost the use of their carpet today, so we are gradually pulling off the feeders from their midst. The heaters will also disappear shortly. The drinkers have already all gone out. If you can remember from the beginning of this video, we did promise that we are going to remove the cartons. This is being done to help prevent disease in their midst, most especially coccidiosis, that always tends to build up in moist region. You know, as it is now, they have pooped everywhere and mixed with the food that they peck from the floor. So we are trying to see how we can remove the entire carpet and now leave them on the suspended floor, where the floor looks so transparent to them they can now see the bottom of the brooder. Well, it's a little tasky exercise because we need to see to the fact that they are right while we are trying to remove all that they needed to survive in their midst. This will only be for a while though. That's when they enable us to fold off the carpet, and now let them now start living on top of the gauze made of wood. We're also being very careful of their hygiene this particular time, because some of the food that have escaped to backside of the carton and sometimes followed by some water droplets and their poop may have fed a couple of bacteria over there, and now some areas have started growing mold actually. But however, their immune system is stronger than all that for the now, because of the ginger and garlic that has been fed to their system, and as well as the tagiri. Chicken being what they are, they can be very, very foolish most of the time. They won't even allow you to roll off the carpet. They are busy trying to peck at whatever food they can find there. However, they've been in the midst of the food for a long while, but yet they feel that this is newer feed, not knowing that it's an existing one which they have even refused to eat before. The beauty here is that the feed that are left on the carton here are not actually wasted. We do not waste them. We in turn feed the feed that is left on this carton along with their poop to the older chicken and turkeys we have at our backyard. Well, I know that this may raise some concern in the mind of many of our followers as to how we should leave our bigger chicken to consume the feed remnant from the brooder if it will not harm their health or whatever. Well, I'm glad to announce to you that it is no threat to us at all, because the immune system of our older chicken here is so boosted to the extent that we do not fear whatever they eat as of now. Our bigger chicken can go around because they're already being free ranged out there now, so we do not care what they eat. The ginger and garlic in their system, by the grace of God, takes care of any health concern. Well, there are some slits in this our suspension base that might be too wide for their present body size now. That means some of them could be falling off. However, we've got all that covered. We've tried to arrange other wood to cover up those large slits, so we don't have fear. Now, all of them seem to be afraid of their new floor system that look transparent because they can now see down below. And sometimes they see those giant turkeys below the brooder. However, they will soon learn to deal with it. Gradually, the final pieces of the cartons are moving out, and we can now see the new look of the brooder.
Now the brooder is wearing a new look. From the look now, you can see the slits. It is through these slits that their poop penetrate and go out, so whatever they poop now no longer remains within them, and this whole floor has already been disinfected while we were preparing for the chicken arrival. With this now, we can be rest assured that there is no spreading of disease in their midst. Hello, big turkey. Well, this turkey, I call him Mr. Tom. He is the husband of all the female turkey down there. Well, you should please take note that you can as well brood your turkey the same way, or however, a few tricks and twists need to just take place as well, most especially in the area of temperature. Turkey chicks or the young turkeys don't really need as much temperature as we do give broilers. Now we are returning their feeders in. Well, on the matter of the turkeys or young turkeys, it should be worthy of note that little turkeys don't really appreciate feed as much as other birds do. So that is why you train them to eat by introducing broiler into their midst. You introduce little broilers like this into their midst, they watch the broilers and learn how to eat from them. So with that, you'll be able to raise a massive amount of turkeys from day old till finished. Now we have successfully returned their feeders, their water source, which is their drinker, and their heat source, which is the charcoal pot. However, since it's a hot afternoon, like I've always encouraged my followers, you do not need to give them heat in the afternoon. So the charcoal pot here is just empty for the now. It contains nothing, no heat, it's just there. But at night, when the weather might be colder, you can just introduce a little heat. But since we are in a hot weather, we don't need so much heat. However, during the cold seasons in Nigeria or in Africa, we encourage that you operate 24-hour heat source for them for the first 10 days. Today they are taking the magic mixture, which is tagiri, ginger garlic, as well as labs, lactobacillus serum. We've already demonstrated how to apply them, and we are still going to put the link to all the different medication, how to prepare them and apply them, on the description below. Please remember to subscribe and watch out for week 2.